It's time for GGSP. Coming right up. Pull up the truck because we've got a whole house to move in our review of the crazy co-op game Moving Out 2.
No.
Plus, noobs beware. There's a dynamic duo on the case of the missing save file in the first part of Noob Cops. Now, I always keep my controller well holstered. You know, these things have a habit of going off. Sorry. Who did that? Not me. Welcome, gamers. Come on in, have a seat. We have a massive show planned for you today, and I cannot wait for you to see the first part of Noob Cops especially. Somehow I've gone from game reviewing to law enforcement. Crazy world we live in. But first up, we have some gaming news. It's been rumored that Nintendo showed off their next console to some game developers behind closed doors at a recent conference. The suspected Switch 2 reportedly had the same level of power as a PlayStation 5 in handheld form. If they're demoing hardware to game developers now, then we might be on track for a new Switch, possibly in 2024. And speaking of PlayStation in handheld form, Sony's Remote Play handheld, now called the PlayStation Portal, is launching around the world in November, but not here in Australia. Yet, anyway. The Portal, which is basically a DualSense controller with a screen in the middle, can stream games from your PS5 console. So it's not a standalone gaming device, it's just a solution for when you can't use the TV. And I really hope we hear some more news on what's up with the Aussie launch sometime soon. Moving on though, and get your gamer grown-ups to gather around because the Atari 2600 console, which originally released in 1977, is being remade and relaunched for a whole new generation to enjoy. The Atari 2600 Plus will come with a cartridge of 10 retro games, but will also support original cartridges from 40 plus years ago if you've still got them. Now that is seriously old school, but you know what? I'll say it right now, those arcade games are still kind of fun. Last up though, if you love Stardew Valley, then this is a need to know. Concerned Ape's next game, Haunted Chocolatier, recently showed off some new screenshots that depict an old man who looks a lot like your grandpa from Stardew Valley, which has led fans to theorize it is indeed set in the same universe. I mean, either that or they just reuse grandpa's art. Anyway though, enough news, let's get on with the rest of the show. Okay, it is time for another speedrun review where I try to smash through a review of a game in 2 minutes or less. And hopefully it'll be less, because if I don't do it in time, I'll be in for a plushie pummeling and I never know where they're gonna come from. Like just then. Today, we're whizzing through a review of Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Big breath. Start the clock. Okay, Hello Kitty Island Adventure is currently exclusive to the Apple Arcade subscription. It's another one of those wholesome life sim kind of games, a bit like Animal Crossing, but with more Hello Kitty. You take the form of an adorable, customizable animal avatar, and after an in-flight cake situation goes horribly awry, you and your fellow passengers must jump plane and balloon down to the island below. Your fellow passengers happen to be a range of Sanrio characters like Hello Kitty, of course, Tuxedo Sam, My Melody, Keroppi, Choco Cat, and Kuromi, just to name a few. Somehow, it seems like it's your job to find everyone across this island resort/abandoned theme park and give them relentless gifts to build friendships, complete quests, and slowly restore the island, while uncovering some of its underlying mysteries. Oh, you know I love a good mystery. There's a fair share of usual cozy game stuff like fishing, critter catching, crafting, and cooking. You can also decorate cabins to attract more characters to your island too, though the customization here felt a little bit basic to me compared to something like Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise DLC. It's not all busy work in Animal Crossing clonery though. There's actually much more to do here than I was expecting. Like some time collection minigames, some mild platforming, and some decent puzzles, along with a few interesting quests. Plus, you can play with a friend in 2-player mode. I found a nice sense of mobility here too, not just because you can play it on mobile devices. Pause for laughter. Wait, no, there's no time. Never mind. In the Island Adventure, you can also jump, balloon float, and climb around the map, opening up new areas as you go and unlocking new ways to travel. And it's just as well because the map is pretty big. Although this feeling of movement comes to a bit of a halt at times, with an annoying fade to black that happens when you say, dip your toe into some water before you have certain gear on, which is so annoying. Sometimes the pacing of the adventure felt a little bit out of whack too. At the beginning, I was overwhelmed by quests and exploration options. I didn't know what to do first. Your progress depends a lot on leveling up your friendships, and as you get further in, this becomes a slower process. So you need to grind it out in the gift-giving department if you want to keep the flow of quests, items, and upgrades going. I guess the true adventure really is the friendships we leveled up along the way. No time for that though. It's worth mentioning that Hello Kitty Island Adventure is set to be supported by seasonal updates, so there's likely more to come at a later date. But let's wrap this up quick smart. While there are a few clunky quirks, overall I found Hello Kitty Island Adventure have a pretty good mix of like adventure, chill, cuteness, and intrigue. So I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 speedy rubber chickens. Okay, how'd I do? No, please do. Please do. Are we done? We good? Ah! My son! So I said to him, no, you're under a vest. You get it?
News just in. An unprecedented $100 million cash prize has just been announced for a new video game competition called Fork Knife. The contest requires participants to find and equip all 3 pieces of what's known as the ultra-legendary cutlery armor set. The first gamer to do that wins the prize and an official title of Best Gamer Ever.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
All right, settle down, turn that off. We've got a new case.
Better not be another missing controller, Chief. Come on, give us a challenge for once.
That's enough out of you, Detective. Especially after that stunt you pulled on the Johnson case.
Hey, I got results.
That's enough out of you, Detective. People died. Luckily they had extra lives, or else I'd have your badge and your controller right now.
Oh, you can borrow mine, Chief.
Oh, no, Rookie, no. It's about as simple as a puzzle in a Kirby game.
Yeah, I can never solve those.
All right, settle down, settle down. Settle down!
Settled.
We've got a case of a missing save file, possibly deleted. Poor kid even had one of those cheese knife pieces of armor everyone's going nuts for.
I think you mean fork knife, Chief. Someone's getting on in his old age.
That's enough out of you, Detective. The man's breathing down my mustache, so no stunts, and don't muck it up.
We won't muck up your
Get
stash.
to work!
All right, Rookie, let me show you how it's done.
Let me just call it Noob Cops. Oh, wait, that's us.
So I just got the first piece of armor, then my new brother deleted my save. Do you think you can get it back? I really want to win that competition.
Yeah, look, I'll level with you, kid. In cases like this, if backup isn't found in the first, 24 hours, it's usually gone, like a fart in the wind. Don't. But I did run a tracer on the network's activity over the last 48 hours, and it looks like a backup was automatically saved to the cloud.
Cloud. There's a cloud out there right now. Beginning pursuit!
There he goes.
Okay, so you can get the save back, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it. Let me just access the cloud's network. Ooh, it's weird, getting some sort of interference. Oh, well, gone now. Okay, just transferring your save to your console, and there you go. Your save is restored.
Wow, thanks, Noob Cops.
You are welcome.
Clouds are faster than they look.
Wait a second. Look at this. According to the access log, someone else downloaded this save.
Hey, my ultra-legendary fork helmet of prodding is gone. That's part of the ultra-legendary cutlery armor set.
Ooh, this smells bad.
Sorry, that was me.
Look, I think someone hijacked this kid's save so they can claim the spoils for themselves.
But that's not fair.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger.
Surely there's something we can do. Right?
Not this time. Look, the armor isn't linked to her account anymore, and we have no way of tracking who took it. I mean, whoever it is probably going after the other 2 pieces of the ultra-legendary cutlery armor. All they need now is the ultra-legendary spoony chest piece of scooping and the knifey greaves of sharpness, and they can claim the prize for themselves.
Sorry about your armor, kid. Hey, maybe you could just, find it again.
It took me 1,000 hours to get that first piece. I'm never gonna catch up to everyone now. Thanks for nothing, Noob Cop.
You're welcome.
Yeah, okay, come on, Rookie, we are done here. Sorry.
Well done, team. Another case. closed.
Chief, we still don't know who stole the armor.
Ah, that's enough out of you, Detective. There's dozens of noob crimes in this town without you trying to open new ones.
Chief, I'm telling you, something about this stinks.
Sorry, that was me again.
Oh,
That's enough out of you, Detective. Now, get out. Some of us have work to do. Hello, Chief speaking. Oh. Yes, I'll take care of them. Just make sure no one ever finds out. Sorry. It stinks in here.
here at Noob Cops, we have to solve all kinds of newbie crime.
And losing a save can be devastating, especially if it's one you put a lot of time and effort into.
But with a few simple steps, you can make sure you are never a victim of this noob crime.
That's right. So use multiple save slots if you can, make manual backups, and where possible, use cloud saves to make sure your saves never go MIA.
MIA.
Are you what?
So be prepared and remember, don't be a noob.
They didn't mark it fragile.
Moving Out 2 is the sequel to the hit 2020 Aussie indie Moving Out. And just like the original, Moving Out 2 finds a way to make even the most mundane of tasks a shenanigan-filled experience set to have your sides a-split.
Where games like Unpacking teach us to treasure and cherish all our knickknacks and odd bobs, Moving Out 2 is all about the chaos of yeeting them out a second-story window while your mate throws priceless items in the back of a removal van.
Not just for the fun of it, though, although it is very fun indeed. You are a member of the Furniture Arrangement Relocation Technicians, or FARTs. Don't laugh, Jam, this is very serious business, all right? We're professional. It's yours and up to 3 friends' jobs to pack, stack, throw, and sometimes demolish your way through a series of funky-looking locations. Getting objects where they need to go and looking good doing it.
Well, as good as you can look when you've got a worm for a head.
There are over 50 levels you can make your way through solo or with friends, ranging from the cutesy gingerbread world of Snackmore, the picturesque cityscape of Pactropolis, the magic majesty of Middle Folkmore, and the cozy home away from home of Packmore. It's nice to see a bit more variety in the styles of levels. It makes it feel like a proper sequel and not just an extension of the first game.
Oh, 100%. And it's not just that they look different. There's also a decent amount of variety in what you need to do and how you need to do it to keep things feeling fresh. As fun as throwing stuff out windows is, I actually really like moving items into houses. There's this really fun level in Snackmore that has you riding your train around different rooms, chauffeuring things like fridges and TVs in spectacularly chaotic fashion. It's a nice shake-up to the routine my friends and I sort of found ourselves in after a few levels.
That's really interesting because I felt like this is one of those games that really encourages you to change up your strategy rather than sticking to one way of doing things. There's so many factors to think about and navigate around, like doors that only open one way, obstacles to avoid, and sometimes filtering what items are supposed to go where. There's always something you can be doing, which is great to help younger GGS peeps or new players feel included, even if they aren't quite moving pros just yet.
Yeah, that's something I really love about Moving Out too. It feels really accessible to all skill levels. Even more so with the added assist mode too, which I made plenty of use of, to let us skip levels we couldn't beat or make objects easier for us to carry. Play your way, I reckon, and it's great to see that being used here so effectively. Although I will say, not all levels were crowd favourites in my house. The petting zoo levels, for instance, were such a test of my patience because animals you put in the pens could and would still escape to wreak absolute havoc. If I never see those chickens again, it'll be too soon.
That's fair enough. Not all of them are going to vibe perfectly with every player, but I think the vast majority are a lot of fun, especially if you're playing with friends.
Oh, absolutely. And I really think that is the best way to play Moving Out too. Sadly, solo just didn't gel with me, and without AI players to play with, you're sort of just sadly shuffling junk around, which isn't nearly as fun as the chaos you make with mates.
You call it chaos. I call us a well-oiled, train-conducting, window-smashing, furniture miniature throwing removalist dream team. You can also collect boxes that unlock new character skins so you can live out your cotton candy toaster shoe face dreams. But we should probably wrap this up, eh? What are your final thoughts on moving out 2, Jem?
Well, while I definitely had my handful of favourite levels, you were right before, Harry. Even if they're not all dazzlers, there's plenty of fun to be had across the board. The wibbly-wobbly ragdoll physics create so many opportunities for laughs, and I will never tire of ripping toasters, TVs, and toilets out of walls. In-game, of course. I stand by in real life, moving out sucks. Luckily, though, moving out 2 definitely does not. So I'm giving it 4 out of 5 rubber chickens. What about you, Harry?
If you enjoyed the original Moving Out, it's almost guaranteed you're gonna get a kick out of this sequel because it's mostly more of the same. But like any good sequel, the devs have taken what really made the first one work and improved on it, adding in more variety in both the look and feel of this collection of wacky levels. If you've got a hankering for some removalist fun, why not give this cracker a go? I'm also giving Moving Out 2 4 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Where'd that box go? All right, Harry, it is Ask SP time, and needless to say, we have a ton of questions to get to.
Yeah, we're absolutely girt by questions.
Girt. Who says girt?
It's in our Anthem, Jem, you know, for we are girt by Steve.
I'm sorry, girt by Steve. It's girt by C, you know that, right?
Well, sure, in the national anthem, but I was talking about the unofficial Minecraft anthem that I made up. It's girt by Steve in that.
Unofficial You know what? We'll talk about this later. But for now, let's get cracking to some questions, starting off with this vid from Zabi.
Hi GGSP, my name is Zabi and I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, will there be any new updates in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? Number 2, what is the most shortest game you've ever played in your life? And Isa, can you please do these?
It's me, Mario. Shut down. Money. Sus. Cool dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zabi. If you're wondering about updates for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, well, there is some paid DLC known as the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. It comes in 2 parts, and the first part, called the Teal Mask, was just released. There will also be a second part called the Indigo Disc, which is due out towards the end of this year. Each of these will apparently include new adventures, new Pokemon, and the return of over 200 Pokemon from previous generations. So they might be worth a look if you're keen for more Scarlet and Violet action.
Absolutely. As for the shortest game we've ever played, well, it kind of depends. I mean, sometimes it varies on each player's individual pace of play.
Yeah, and there are a whole lot of games that are designed to be played in rounds or races or matches. So would you count them as short games, or do you mean the kind of games that you can finish in a short time?
Oh, actually, I did play a game called There Is No Game once.
That doesn't sound like a game, Jem.
Like it is, but it isn't. It's kind of like a self-referential meta-commentary on games that was made for a game jam. You could play it, or I guess not play it, in your browser, and it took less than 15 minutes to get to the end. The developer actually went on to make There Is No Game Wrong Dimension, but I think that's a little bit longer.
Oh, cool. Well, the short games that spring to mind for me are ones where you can pretty much finish the main experience within a couple of hours, like the absolutely stunning game Journey, or the very sweet burb adventure of A Short Hike, and the quirky puzzler Donut County.
Oh, banger choices all round. Short and sweet, just the way I like it. Oh, and I'm pretty sure each installment in the Frog Detective series only takes about an hour or so for a bit of that fun amphibian mystery. But let's get on to our next question, and this one is from Talia.
Hi GGSP, my name is Talia, and I've got one question for you about Minecraft. In Minecraft, why don't cats and kittens have whiskers? And that's all I've got. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Talia. Why don't cats and kittens have whiskers in Minecraft, you ask? That's a good question. Whiskers are one of the cutest features of cats and kittens, surely.
That and their little toe beans. Now, I'm not 100% sure why they don't have them, but I would guess it might be difficult to put intricate details like whiskers on small Minecraft mobs like cats or ocelots, considering the game uses a kind of pixel-based design style.
Yeah, true. If they did find a good way to add whiskers, that truly would be the cat's pajamas.
Oh, Oh, and then they could add cat's pajamas too. I mean, that'd be so cute.
Aww, all right. Well, I think we have time for one more. This one comes to us from Edie and Ned.
Hi, my name is Edie and this is Ned, and we got 3 questions for you today. 1, have you ever reviewed Yoku's Island Express?
If you haven't, can you please?
Second of all, what is your favourite PS4 game ever?
3, can you read our drawings?
Thank you.
Thanks, Edie and Ned. If you're wondering if we reviewed Yoku's Island Express, well, yes. It was reviewed on GGSP way back in 2018 when it released. It's a creative little concept for a game, blending pinball and platforming. Not to mention the adorable dung beetle Yoku. Oh, what a gem. Hey, that's me. You can search that out on the ABCME YouTube channel if you want to see that review.
Now, to your question of favourite PS4 game ever, well, it's tough to pick just one. If we're talking PlayStation exclusives, I'd maybe choose the 2016 Ratchet & Clank. Such an amazing 3D action platformer. Or the charming and creative Little Big Planet 3. Or Tearaway Unfolded. What about you, Jim?
I mean, those are all banger choices, but I really enjoyed Concrete Genie on the PS4. It's a beautifully arty experience with a really heartfelt story. Journey, which we mentioned before when talking about short games, is also a really lovely one to try if you haven't already. Oh, and I do super duper love Astrobot Rescue Mission, although technically that's a VR game for the PS4's VR headset. Oh, and one of my all-time favorite games is Banner Saga 3, which I originally played on PC, but is also available for PS4.
And now we have some art to evaluate.
We do indeed, which means, berets, please, hands. Thanking you so much. Still doesn't fit my head. All right, now let's consider these side by side, shall we? Yes, a sibling works, you could say. I'm struck by the use of colour, so vivid and bright. This figure's hair and outfit, so striking and fashionable. It makes me think of springtime in my childhood.
Yeah, and the second work reminds me of cows and dairy products. Very moving. I give them 5 out of 5 rubber paintbrushes.
I simply must concur. Now, berets away, because that is all the time we have for Ask SP.
Oh, if you have a question for us, go here to send it in. And if we choose your video for the show, we'll send you some sweet GGSP loot.
And wouldn't you know it, that is also the end of another episode of GGSP as well. But come back next time, because we'll get the party started with Samba de Amigo Party Central. Plus, we'll have more Noob Crime shenanigans in another installment of Noob Cops.
We've had a massive spike in reports of Zero Brian in the Fork Knife video game.
Until then, may all your games be good ones. Gem out.
Hurry out.
Okay, now I gotta hear more about this Minecraft anthem. What's going on with that?
Well, it goes like this.
Okay, I'm in the zone, yep.
Minecrafters, all let us dig down, for we have turned on cheats. With blocks of soil and diamond ore, our world is girt by Steve.
Petition to make this our new national anthem.
It's not bad.